Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of my Sketchup tutorial. If you missed the first two, click up the corner there and that will take you over there. So, in this tutorial I'll be showing texturing and making things look pretty and changing the way things look and a bit of measurement tools. So, let's get right into it. First, I'll create a little cube to demonstrate what I'm going to be showing. So, what we're going to do is you open up the paint bucket and this little window comes up. What you do is you can go through, you click this little drop box and it will go through all sorts of different materials and textures. Say if I want to make this out of brick and cladding, I'll go into the brick and cladding subcategory and then select it and just click where you want it to be painted. So it only does it along that face, and if you want to only have parts of it, just create a box within that and you can select within that, otherwise it will just go all over it. So right then I Control Z'd, I said that in the last video, and that will be the most useful tool you will use in this program. So there's all sorts of different things, some are transparent, some are not, and if you click up here you can change a little bit, change the settings of it, change the coloring, opacity, I think somewhere, and all sorts of other things, and then yeah, opacity down here. So if you want to make it like really see-through, you can do all that. So you just keep editing the settings up here and you can get the text, almost any text you want, by just slowly editing them a little bit. So that's cool. I will now show you how to do all the other things in this category. So what we're going to show is the tape measure tool up here. So we select the edge, we drag it all the way along to the face, how long we want to measure. So I just want to measure about halfway, and we measure up to the midpoint, and you click, and it will display a line all the way along here. So if you've got a line there, it doesn't really show the data. So this leads up to the text option. So you enter the text, and what it said down there at the bottom, you just do 1.38. Oh, not that. 1.38. So that's what it showed down there. And if you click around and you move it around, that'll always show at that point. So that's quite cool. And we've gone over that. And you can put all sorts of stuff, like put Susan over here. And you can just use it for like note taking and labeling. See, I didn't actually click on an object on my screen, I just clicked on a paste my screen so it stays in that exact position. Whether if I click on an actual object, drag it out, it'll stick on that object. Whether these ones are sticking on my actual screen, so I can just easily delete that by selecting them and pressing delete. Okay, next tool I'm going to show is the protractor tool. So what this does is you go on an angle and you drag it along and it will show that angle that it's facing. That's really what the protractor's for. It's good. Next tool I have is the axis. So what this does, it redefines the axis from there to wherever we want to be working. So we select whether we want the red axis to be, where the blue axis goes, oh, not the blue axis, the green axis. So now it's changed the global axis, so where we want to be working. And yeah, that can be used for all sorts of things. So if you're working in an enclosed object within an entire scene, you can just edit that quickly. Next tool is the dimensions tool. So you go from one side to another and it will show you the length of such things, or across here and it will show you how long that object is. So it's basically for dimensions and sides and stuff like that. So it's getting a bit messy. I'll delete all this. So to delete multiple things at once, you just highlight it all and press delete. Last tool I'm going to show is the 3D text tool. So what you do is what's it doing? Click on it and you open up with this box where you say, alright, whatever. I will just write 3D text, and you select the font out of this massive list. We'll just do this one for the sake of it, and 10 meters with a gap of say 5 because I make no sense at all. And then once you've figured out all the settings you want, you just click place, and then it uses the move tool to determine where you want it, and you've got your 3D text. So you can recolor this with the paint tool, and it just selects the entire thing and recolors it all. Next thing I'm going to show is adding different effects to what you can see around. So right now I'll add shadows, which give it a shadowy effect. Right now it's below the axis, so I'll raise it up a bit, and it gives you a nice shadow. But what's cool about this is if you use this, I will go, so you select your GMT time. In my country it's plus 12 hours, so I select that, and I select what time of day I want. So if I want about 9 in the morning in February, we'll select that, and that'll show me where the direction of the sun is coming from. So if I'm building like a house and I want to know how the sun hits it in the morning, I'll select all these settings, build the house, and I'll see where the shadows are casting. So that's quite a cool setting. Next thing I'm going to show is the fog. I don't really find a use for this because it just makes things invisible. It doesn't really help me, but I don't know. Some people might have use for it. Last thing I'm going to show is styles. This changes the entire look of SketchUp. It's about the closest you'll get to like a final render of some sorts. So once you've found a style you like from the Dropbox, much like the way it works with the materials Dropbox, is you just go to one you want and you select, say, the blueprint, and it just changes the look of everything. And see how it changes the lines and the lighting and the background and all that, and you just go through different looks. And if you want to go back to the original one you started off with, you go click in model, and it's the very last one, and it's called simple style. So this concludes the third tutorial. The last tutorial will be going over more of the advanced tools, and it will go over components and the 3D warehouse. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe if you deem that necessary,